Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have the privilege to hear from one of your original leaders and founder, Rich DeVos.
I'm going to talk to you today about what I think are the founding pillars of this business. That's just the reality of life as it moves on. But the founding things that we did, only I can tell you about. And so I want to talk about them a little bit. Freedom and the free enterprise system that you enjoy and live with. Freedom always has responsibility. It's never just your right to be free, your right to do what you want to do. You have to carry with it the responsibility of doing it right. We see a lot of blame in the world today for our economy and what went wrong and the greediness of certain people and all that. Well, they were free to do that. But they were wrong in doing it that way. And so that gets down to the responsibility, and that always comes down to a very simple phrase. You first and me second. My responsibility is to take care of you and make sure you succeed. And if that happens, then I succeed. And if you look at the plan, you see that that's all in the plan. That's what the plan is all about. You have to help your people, then you come out just fine. But when you get that backwards, and you want to take things out from them before you help them, then it starts to disintegrate. And that's part of what we're seeing in our world. And that's why our ethics have to be great, and our responsibility for the privilege of freedom has to go. I wrote a book many years ago called Compassionate Capitalism. And at that time, Russia was just beginning to play with free enterprise. And I wrote it actually with them in mind. And I wanted them to understand that it has to have a compassionate, caring element. If it's just about making money and not about caring for the people that are inside your country, then it doesn't work right. That's why it has to have a caring or compassionate element to it. Not too long ago, somebody in Russia wanted to publish the book in Russian, and they came to me and said, there's too much God stuff in here. Can we take that out? And then we'd like to publish it. And I said, no. I said, if you take that out, throw the book away. Because the foundation of the book is in the value of the individual. That each person is to be respected, not just to be used or taken advantage of to get ahead. It isn't me at all costs. It's you first, me second. That's the way I see freedom. And I know that's how you see freedom. And that's why you built this business, because you love and care about the people you bring in. So freedom in the Amway sense is what Doug and Steve talked about. But it's also in this sense of responsibility. The second thing of that, is family. We talk about the Amway family. Family is fundamental to this business because it's a relationship between us that we have. It's a relationship you have with all of your people that you bring in. They're not just distributors in your group. They're people you respect and love and care about. And if somebody's sick, then you all worry about it, don't you? And if somebody needs a meal because there's nobody home to cook, when somebody's there to do that. I witnessed it over and over. And if somebody dies, everybody's there to mourn with them. It's family. And that's the glue that holds the business together. If you watched the basketball game last night, you watched a guy by the name of Michael Petrus throw in some nice three-pointers to help the Magic win, to go up 3-1, just in case you didn't know. Michael Petrus was sitting in his chair in the locker room one day, and I came in with two young kids from my church that I was just bringing along to a game to encourage them. One of them had a little problem, and I said, I'll take him to the game and see if I can help him a little bit. And Michael was sitting on his chair, and he looked at these young guys and said to them, how old are you? And they said, 14. He said, it's Christmas time. You got a Christmas tree at your house? They said, oh, yes. He said, you have a family get-together, I suppose? And I said, yes. You know, he said, I never had a family. I've never had a Christmas tree. I never had anybody sit around with it. He said, my father was kind of never there. I don't know really what happened to him. My mother died when I was 2, he said. And I was alone. And some people helped me, but I got along. And then one day an agent came along and thought I could play basketball, because most of the time I just played basketball. And he brought me to Paris, and I continued, and here I am and playing for the Magic. And I feel, he said, this is the first place I've ever been where I felt at home. He said, I hope you never trade me. He said, there's something about this team that is very special. I said, well, that's because you're in our family. This is the Magic family. We care about you as a person, not just your basketball. And Michael said, he said, don't ever trade me. But he said, I just feel good here. And I put my arm around him and said, Michael, I said, you're in my family. Understand that. And the next day he got a quote in the paper, and he said, you know what? He said, being in the Magic, I feel like I'm in a family. You are in a family. And that's so important to us. That's the basic unit that holds society together. And that's why we have to hold each other together, lift each other up, encourage each other, do all of those things that you do as a family. Loving and caring for each other. The family. But it's not the thing they own, as I said. It's a trust that they're responsible for, to you, to protect the hard work you have put in to build your business. And I want to move on to the fourth one, or the third one, actually, which is rewards. We have two types of rewards. We have money rewards and we have pin awards. We have recognition awards. I don't know which is more important sometimes. Sometimes the idea of getting a pin and being recognized drives you more than more money does. But you like both. We offer both. It's important. Nobody could ever tell me enough that they liked a speech. I could hear it over and over. So recognition is important to all of us. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it except to talk about, don't be afraid to get out of the way as time goes on. Your children are coming up. Involve them, applaud them, cheer them. We are blessed with 16 wonderful grandchildren and 4 wonderful families. And our family is the key to what our greatest rewards are. When people say to me, what's your legacy going to be? And I say, my legacy is our children, because they are carrying on as responsible citizens. That's my legacy. And sometimes when I see the Amway business, what I see is your children becoming so far ahead of others in the world because of their involvement with you in Amway. They learn and know and have values and appreciation for things that most kids never know. And so your rewards are sometime in progress of your family. You know all about the other awards. I looked at them and I saw them saw you all up here and admired you and respected you. And we don't have to develop it, but we spend a lot of time on rewards. And the last one I want to talk about is just hope. That's the last one of the 4 pillars. Because we offer hope to everybody. You are the hope. And for many people, you are the hope that they don't even know about yet. Just as you did not know until somebody came and talked to you. And you fortunately said, yes, I'll see, I'll try. You didn't know whether you could do it. You never dreamed you would be where you are. People say to me, you ever dream it would be like this? And I say, of course not. No one can dream that big. No one can see that far. We wanted to make a living and having our own business. That was our goal. But what a blessing that has been to the world as a product. Hope that it brings. The hope that you bring to people. But then I put together a little list of my hopes for all of you. I hope this business works for all who work it. You know, some of our people that I know tried the hardest and it just never seemed to go for them. You got to like people like that. That always made me sad. They tried, but it just, somehow, it doesn't seem to work for them. So I hope it works for all the people who work it. I hope your business grows and grows and you never lose sight of the joy of watching other people achieve and discover their realization of their dreams. As you take people from poverty to achievement to financial success, I hope you enjoy it. Smile, relish it, be proud of it, be grateful you had a hand in it. And when you're in this business, you learn to work with where you are now. So now we're going to move on. And you're all going to go home and think back, I hope, of the good time you had, but most of all of the people out there who don't know yet about what they're missing. And you're going to be the missing link in bringing it to them. And their life will change because of you, as many others have already. But I like to think of myself as the Amway guy. When I meet people, they say, what do you do? And I say, I'm the Amway guy. Oh, why, you an Amway? I say, yeah, I'm an Amway. I've been in Amway a long time. I believe in it. I like it.